Happy 2026, Scorpio! Are you ready to dive into the energies of January and see what's coming up for you? Let's have an aligned astro chat about it. Hello all, Stacy the Black Feather Intuitive, and welcome to your Transformational Tarot for January, Scorpios. And this is for all of my Sun, Moon, and Rising Scorpios, as well as if you have a lot of Scorpio in your Venus or your Mars. And if you also have a Scorpio in your life that you love, this is also for you to keep you kind of ahead of the game on where they're at and what they might be going through. So this month we are pulling a transformational theme, an overarching theme for you from the Healing Spirits from Gordon Smith. And then we are going to be pulling cards for you from the Arcanum Tarot. And this is by Renata Lechner, and it is a Lo Scarabeo. So without further ado, let's get to it. Okay, so I wanted to share a little bit of exciting information while I'm shuffling this up and getting your transformational theme. It's been 11 years since I have been on YouTube, and I finally, just recently, was able to create some memberships to help keep the conversation going and to bring us into, I want to say, a deeper dive. So would love to offer that to you guys, to all of my subscribers. Feel free to click on the join button to find out about the 3 membership options that I have. Would love to be able to keep in touch with you guys in this way. Okay, Scorpios. Oh, look at this. Right away, we're seeing all the red. It makes me think of you guys. There is so much more to you than you think. Wow. Okay. January is definitely going to be a deep thinking month for you, a deeply reflective month for you. I feel like for some of you, general reading, take what works for you, leave the rest behind. Some of you are going to have a really emotionally challenging month. And I mean, I know that's saying a lot to you guys, because you already, really live and swim in that emotional space. But I feel that there are going to be some challenges. Now, not to say, dun, 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 your January is going to suck. I don't feel that. What I'm feeling is there are going to be a lot of deep emotions, deep emotional waters that you're going to be swimming in so that you can come to the surface. And it feels like bringing the pearl up. From the surface. It's so funny. I just did Libra's reading, and in one of their cards, there was an actual pearl at the bottom of the sea. So if you feel so inclined and you're feeling that it resonates, I would recommend that you watch that Libra reading as well, because there may be something coming up for you. But I feel very much that this is a month where you're going to be really connecting to the core of you, the heart of you, the essence of you. And you've got to kind of do this deep dive in order to be able to get there. So let's see how that's going to sort of unfold and transpire. Where are you right now, presently, in your transformational journey? What part of you is shifting, rising, or dissolving? Oh, interesting. 8 of Wands. Yeah, Scorpios, I feel like you guys are kind of in a fuck it mode. Fuck it all. I don't care. I'm not going to do the things that, I'm supposed to do right now, or I don't want to do the things that I know I'm supposed to do right now. I'm hearing obligations are a real challenge. You're just like, I don't want to feel an obligation to a single person. Feeling a little bit of hermity energy here as well for you, where you're just kind of like, I don't want to have to see anybody. I don't want to have to do anything. I don't want to have to wear a hat to be in anybody's space or anybody's place right now. I really just want to be kind of in my own energy. So it's interesting because I feel like while you're going to be feeling all of those things and wanting that, I feel like the universe is not necessarily going to provide that to you. I feel like you're going to have a lot of people who are requiring things from you. And some of these things are going to be things that you're going to kind of have to do, right, at some point. But don't be discouraged. I feel like part of this is happening so that you don't get too wallowed in or swallowed up by the things that are coming up and coming through. So I feel like you're going to have some of that ebb and flow. It's going to be important to get out a little bit, not so much because you got to get out of your head, but more so because you need to get out of the feels for a little while and just kind of have some frivolity, have some surface stuff. So I do feel that this may be a month where sprinkle in some things that don't require a lot of effort or a lot of thought. Now, this would be the perfect time to connect with that. I want to say that acquaintance friend where you guys don't really have to go deep at all. You just go see a movie and you laugh and you have a nice drink together and then that's it, kind of thing, right? Or in terms of relationship, it's like, let's get our freak on, but just don't talk to me. Like, I don't want to talk, right? I feel like it's that kind of energy. So just understand that I feel like that's part of how you're going to be regulating your feelings and emotions, regulating your energy by sprinkling in some of the superficial, because it's the superficial that's going to give you a break from what you're kind of processing internally. The catalyst, what's fueling or hindering your transformation? Is this resistance or rocket fuel? So here we have the Four of Cups. This is really interesting. I feel like some of this fuck it energy is because you've been disappointed one too many times. I'm feeling like for a lot of you, not all of you, but a lot of you, this is connected to a very specific person, a very specific relationship in your life. Somebody has just dropped the ball. And what I'm feeling is they've dropped the ball for the last time. That's kind of what I'm feeling here. Like, this is it. I can't do this anymore. And I got to figure out how to let this go. I got to figure out how to swiftly release this. I got to figure out what this all means for me. Because I'm tired of feeling this way. I'm tired of always being in this space, in the place of frustration, of being left holding the bag, of feeling not chosen. Name a thing, right? That's kind of the energy of what this is. When we talk about that four energy, four is laying foundation, solidification of something. And I feel like when we're talking about it in terms of the catalyst, it's like you've been either establishing that foundation, or you are the foundation, or you've been asking for someone to participate in the establishment of that foundation, and it's just not happening. And I feel like the reality for you is to accept that it's because they don't want to. They may tell you, oh, I want to this and I want to that. And, I'm going to try and I'm going to this and I'm going to that. But the bottom line is actions speak louder than words. So I feel like there's a component of this that you're tapping into where you're recognizing or needing to come to terms with the fact that this person really just isn't who they say they are. I'm learning who this person is through their actions, not through their words. And I want to say it's hard for you. And for some of you, you're going to be really pissed off. Like, you're going to be pissed off. Again, fuck it, right? And I'm not saying that to be, funny or to be perfect, purposefully crass. I'm saying that's how you feel. Fuck it all. Like, I'm done. Stick a fork in me. So this is the catalyst. And I feel like it's okay to step into that. It's okay to examine it. And it's okay to not look for this either right away, because I do feel like you need to do the deep dive first to understand why this is all happening, because there is so much more to you than you think. So why are you giving away your power to this person, right? So not only are you going to be releasing this from you, this situation or this person, but you're also going to be figuring out why you've kind of given away your power so long to this particular individual and stepping into what is next. Deep root. What deep belief, wound, or soul contract is driving this transformation under the surface? Interesting. I feel like for some of you, there was like a need to fight. There was a need, there was a desire to instigate something, to have conversations. Some of us, like, we just get in that mode where we just want to fight because we need to like express that energy, get that energy out of us. For some of us, it's the understanding that the conflict needs to happen in order to move the needle. And I feel like for some of you, there's this energy around the situation or around the person of why is it that I always have to be the bad guy? Why is it that I'm always the one who has to initiate this? Why is it that I'm always the one who has to point out these things? And I want to say to you, look at the capacity of the person. Are you expecting this person to bring more than what they're actually capable of giving? And don't look at it from a judgmental capacity perspective. Look at it from the history of it, who this person really is, not who they tell me they are, but who they really are to me. I can go based on past action and determine very clearly why this is all happening, why this person is doing this or that or the other thing. So I feel like when we're talking about that deep root, what we're dealing with here is a soul contract. And you're having a come to Jesus moment about that soul contract with this person. And you're recognizing where, okay, this is the part I've been playing. Is this the part I still want to play? 5 is shift, change, transformation. Swords, I just keep seeing cutting through to the truth of it, just getting right to the heart of it. This is a card that says, do you want to be right, or do you want to be happy? There's definitely an energy of that, and I feel like maybe that's some of that instigation piece. And so, I always like to say it's never about the message and always about the delivery of the message. That is, I want to say, that the most important component to this. So you want to consider that. You want to consider your words. You want to consider your tone. But at the end of the day, the truth is the truth. And if it's a soul contract and you understand, okay, we signed on to work through these issues. And so if I'm the teacher in this situation and not the student, it is up to the teacher to understand when, you've given all that you can give. And if the student doesn't get the message at this point, the student's not going to get the message. And so I feel that there's a component of that where you're recognizing it's time. It's time for me to release this person or to release this situation from my life. I can't do anything more. I've done all that I can do. I've done all that I contracted to do. And now it's time to walk away. What's dying away? What role, pattern, or identity has run its course? Wow, your second 5. So 2 5s in a row. So the universe is like emphasis on the change, emphasis on the transformation. So fear, worry about what this person's going to say or think, having to walk on eggshells all the time, feeling like the outsider, feeling like you have a sense of what's going on, but it's never validated. It's never confirmed by the other person. So you're left guessing. A lot of energy where you call the person out and maybe there's some gaslighting or just outright denial around what is transpiring. This shit is exhausting to you. This is not really, I was going to say this is not what you signed up for. From a spiritual perspective, unfortunately, yeah, it's a soul contract. So it is what you signed up for. But I want to say from a human perspective, nobody's got time for this shit. You didn't sign up for this. Connection in a relationship, whether it's a romantic relationship or a friendship or a family dynamic or whatever, it should really be about the connection and the bond that you're able to create. That's where the energy really comes from, right? Sitting in worry and fear all the time and feeling like you have to make yourself smaller in order to please this person or to keep this person in your life or to just have a relationship, period, end of story, with this person, that is not fraught with heated discussions and anxiety and, all the things and the stuff all the time. It just doesn't make sense. It's not, I'm hearing like I'm hearing the math ain't mathin', right? Like it's not a checks and balances situation. It's very out of balance. And so change is required. And while, yeah, you're frustrated that you're always the one who has to kind of initiate the change or be the bad guy or bring up the tough stuff, you're also sick of it. And you're like, okay, I don't want to have to do it again, but I only have to do it one more time with you and then we're done. Right? Like I'm only going to do it one more time because I'm concluding this. I'm saying no more. I'm making the change. I'm initiating that. And I feel like when you finally get to that place where you you have the conversation, you release yourself from that. Oh my God, I feel like this burst, right? When we look at this card here, I feel this burst. I feel you finding yourself again. You haven't lost yourself. I feel like you're just kind of buried under a bunch of somebody else's bullshit. And when you step out of that, it's going to be a very different story. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Highest Phoenix potential. What can rise from the ashes? What is your soul calling you toward? This is your breakthrough energy. Choice. And I want to say the ability to choose what your heart really desires. This is a card of dreams and illusions. And I feel very much when I'm tapping into this today, it's about dreams. It's about your dream. There's something about this connection here that when it goes, you're going to recognize how much of your dreams you've been putting on hold or putting off to the side or having, like halving. What's a better way to say it? Diluting it. You've had the dream, but you've had it halfway. You haven't had it 100%. You've been watering it down in order to make it fit with, the dynamics of this person and amongst everything else in your life. So I'm really feeling here that highest Phoenix potential as you are, transforming in in January, transforming this particular dynamic. You're really opening yourself up now to all the things that you've kind of put off to the side. There's a compartmentalization that I feel, it's almost like Pandora's box. This is like Pandora's box opening all up. And you're like, oh shit. Okay, I knew there was some stuff. I knew that I intentionally put some stuff to the side, but I had no idea it was so much. And so I feel like when we talk about that breakthrough energy, there may be a little bit of anger and sadness when this comes out because you're going to say, wow, like I really missed you. And why did I not allow myself to open that side of me or to explore that side of me? And you're going to feel it. And then you're going to say, okay, fuck it. I'm ready to go. Let's do this. And you might you might take the steps 2 at a time, taking the stairs 2 at a time. You might take 2 cups at a time. Now, don't overindulge. I caution overindulgence this month, especially on a physical level. I feel like there's something about the Scorpio body that is in the process of a reset or a regulation. You guys may even want to do a detox to help keep you structured from a physical perspective. But do your best not to overindulge physically. That includes like overworking, doing, too much physical work, especially with your hands. Don't overdo things with your hands. Give yourself a rest, give yourself a break. Oddly specific information, which is why it's so important. Okay, what's emerging just around the corner? What energy or experience is coming in to support the next phase? Interesting. So, because you're making this decision with this particular person or situation, I feel like not only is that done, but it comes with other things also being done just because of association. And I feel like for you, there is going to be some bittersweet. There is going to be I want to say like a having to go a little bit deeper into your resolve, your resources, your inner resources and your inner resolve to be okay with what that is. I'm going to remind you, you are powerful and you are a manifester. You can just create or recreate whatever it is that you're saying goodbye to and whatever doors you're closing as a result of this. So even though it might feel like it's a bit unfair or that, you're having to give up so much just to get this person out of your life or this situation to be wrapped up, I feel like it's important to recognize that the 10 of Swords is a rebirth card. And that rebirth is what you want. So the ending of all of this stuff only serves to lighten you up. It only gives you that new body. And again, I come back to that physical body stuff. Don't overindulge because your body's going through a reset. Some of this energetically could be that you are purging this person from your energetic field. I can speak to, oh my goodness, this was a couple of years ago now, but I went through a major friendship breakup. I want to say it was worse than my marriage breaking up. And it involved a couple of different people. And it took a long time and many iterations for me to feel like all of the individual's energies were free and clear of me, and that what I was feeling was purely my own. I feel a little bit of that energy with you here in January, is as you are going through the release process, there is going to be some lag time. There's going to be some consideration that you'll need to make around what is it that I'm feeling, and is it all mine? And that disappointment. This person made this choice, and as a result of that, it ruined everything for me. And so now I'm having to deal with someone else's choices and how that has affected my life and my choices as a result. So I just feel like there's a lot of, again, I told you at the beginning, I felt like there was going to be some emotional up and down, but I just want to empower you and say, you've got this. Like, I don't want to give you the impression that January is going to suck, because it's not. But I do really feel that you're going to be doing some, emotional work here. And the emotional work is happening for you. And I can't wait to see what is coming up, because I do feel that there's going to be great reward on the other side of this, and it's going to happen pretty quickly. I feel for some of you, from a career perspective, there's going to be a new job opportunity kind of coming out of the blue towards the third week of January. That is going to be really exciting and something you're definitely going to want to consider. I'm also seeing that for all of you across the board, there's going to be a very exciting surprise. It feels like a gift that is unexpected, comes from afar. So not local, comes from afar. And the gift is something that allows you to, I want to say, expand and grow. So this could be a gift of a course or a class that you're taking. This could be the gift of, it could be a gift of money. It could be someone giving you a gratitude gift for work done before. It could be a bonus from work. Just be open to it, because I feel like it's unexpected, but it feels like it makes you feel good. It gives you a little bit of a break. Again, going into, I want to say, more surface level stuff is going to be kind of a happy place for you. Okay, where are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Your role in the shift. How are you navigating this transformation? Are you resisting, flowing, grieving, or boldly rising? And here we have the 8 of Pentacles. Wow. Okay, so definitely feeling here that it's you putting in the work. This is a card of mastery. This is a card of higher education. This is a card of you saying, I know the basics. Now I want to perfect my craft. I want to bejewel, bedazzle all of my pentacles here. I'm ready for the ascension process. I'm looking forward to what the ascension is bringing me. And the real feeling I have here is you're looking forward to having this all behind you. When we talk about you in the process, I feel like you're going to be like, you know what? I'm going to just go big or go home into this, because I really want this to be behind me. I don't want to feel this anymore. I don't want to feel any of this anymore. I've been feeling it for long enough. And it's interesting because we started off with an 8, the 8 of Wands. And because you have felt this, you're now like, okay, I'm ready for the ascension. So bring it on. Bring on that work. Bring on, angels and guides, universe. Bring on whatever it is that I need, because I'm going to ace this test and I'm going to move forward. I don't want to look back. I don't want to be thinking about this anymore. This is not for you a message about bypassing what you're feeling or what you need to experience or express. But I would say to you, there's determination. And that's kind of the energy that I'm getting. Be cautious. Again, don't overindulge and don't overcommit. Yes, you want to move through this, but I'm going to say the process is the process. It takes what it takes. So, you might want to, move and shake right through this, but you know how things go. Things are going to come up at different times and in different ways and at different stages in your life, in your space. So leave room for you to, I want to say, just accept the process. Yes, you're going to be in the process. You're going to be determined and kind of driving the process. But I also want to say, give yourself permission to accept the process and accept that you're in a process. Wow, Scorpio, I can relate to that. Woo! Okay, circles of support. Who or what is influencing your transformation right now? And is it a positive or a negative influence? Interesting. Wow. You know, a lot of the same cards are coming through. I use a different deck for everybody's readings, and we're getting the same cards. So that usually indicates that there's sort of a collective energy that is also at play here, that collectively we're working through some stuff as well. Three of Swords is one of those cards. So when we talk about the support system and the who or what is influencing you at this time, I really feel like hell hath no fury like a person scorned, right? A woman scorned is the phrase. But I don't want to be sexist here, so a man can feel that too. But here we are. I feel very much that what's really influencing you here is the heart piece, the betrayal, the "are you kidding me?" And you want to be cautious, feel it, experience it. But I want to say, like, leave the voodoo dolls and the curses behind. Like, this is a time where I feel like anything that you put out there, it could boomerang if it's not the right frequency and the right energy. And so that feels really significant from that perspective. I'm also feeling here that when we are talking about that circles of support, I do feel for a lot of you, there are you and two other people that are in your inner circle that could really assist you with this process. So I do see you maybe not sharing this with the whole world, but maybe sharing this with one or two other people. And you're going to get a unique perspective from each individual. And I do feel that you're going to get the support that you're seeking, whatever that is, whether it's just sitting in silence with someone, whether it's talking about it for 10 hours, whether it's having the person give you a long list of your accomplishments so that you can bolster yourself up before you have to go and do the deed or whatever. I feel like you're going to get what you need, but I am hearing keep the circle small. It's kind of interesting. Okay, hopes and fears. Who are you dreaming of becoming, and what scares you about actually doing it? Sorry if you're hearing that humming in the background. I asked my cleaning crew to save the vacuuming to the end, and they have not listened. So I apologize for that in advance. So here we have the Queen of Pentacles. I feel like you want to feel a little more grounded. You want to not have to worry about everyone and everything around you. You want to I feel like hermit energy again. You want to kind of hermit a little bit. And I feel like when we talk about the hopes and fears, you're worried that if you become this, that everybody's going to constantly be coming to take, because this is, I feel, some of the energy of what you're releasing. And I want to say, this is a soul contract. And because it's a soul contract, it doesn't necessarily mean that you are going to have to run into that again, or that you're going to have this same experience with another person. You fulfilled your side of the contract, and that contract is now done, null and void, gone. Queen of Pentacles says, step into the grounding, step into the abundance, step into the resource. I love the Queen of Pentacles because for me, this is the, she invites you in, you call her up and you say, hey, I need this and this. And she says, yeah, absolutely. Come on over. I'm happy to do that for you. And I'll do you one better. Not only will I give you the basket of whatever it is that you're needing, but I'm also going to teach you how you can do this for yourself. And so it's a very giving card. It's a very connected card, connected to the bounty of Mother Earth, as well as, connection to self and source and intuition and all of those things. So I feel like this is kind of who you want to be, but maybe you need to just take a little bit of a pause or a rest to kind of process and regroup from this. because you absolutely can become this 150%. But you got to purge this individual and this contract from your system before you can step into it. Otherwise, you bring a little bit of bitterness and a little bit of resentment and the fear of this is going to happen to me again. And I don't feel that. I don't feel like you're going to go through this again unless you choose to have that experience again, right? I don't feel that this contract was necessarily about you. It was about the other person. So own this, lean into it. But I want to say it's okay for you to take a little time to recharge before you do. Just understand that the big message around that is to become more grounded. That's what I feel is what you want to take from that in the month of January for sure. Okay, Scorpios, we are now at the outcome. If you stay on course this January, who will you be on the other side of this journey? What is the result of embracing the full Phoenix death and rebirth cycle? Support and grace, peace and ease, someone coming in and saying, I got this, take a load off. I feel like the whole month of January is really going to be this ebb and flow around the release of this dynamic that you've had in your life. And when you come out the other side, I feel like you have such a stronger sense of yourself, such a clarity around why this has happened, and you're able to really cut the cord. It takes the month, but then you're really able to cut the cord on the emotional strings, and you're able to move forward into the next adventure, the next vista. And I feel like this really is source energy that is steering the boat, oaring the boat. Yes, you're going to have, I want to say some earth angels. You're going to have support in the form of earth angels and people around you. But I feel like this is really about source energy saying, we brought all of this to you so that you could reconnect more deeply with yourself and who you are choosing to be out in the world. And yes, you performed a great task. And it's not your responsibility now or you don't need to know. It's none of your business whether this person learned the lesson or not. Your job is done and you're never going to have to revisit this again. So let's move on to calmer shores. Let's focus on what's ahead, not what's behind. And I feel like by the end of January, this becomes very clear to you. The connection that you're going to feel with yourself and source is going to be so cherished, so prevalent. And I almost want to say you're going to feel tender love towards source energy, tender love towards all that you have been through and who you are on the other side of it. So it feels very much like a beautiful self-awareness journey, and a journey, I want to say, back to the core of yourself, the essence of you. Wow. Okay, Scorpio. So that is your reading for January of 2026. I still have some year-end preview and year-end transformation appointments available. I only do it until January 31st. If you want to sneak peek and see some, sort of predictive energy around what is coming up for you in 2026, you want to book that your year-end preview session, and it's incredible. You'll really enjoy the process. I've been doing it for 10 years now. Everybody loves it. And if you want to do a deeper dive and understand how you are transforming this year and how your soul wants to be transformed and what its purpose is here for this year, you want to click that year in transformation link and get booked now. You get channeling and card pulls and affirmations and reflection questions and meditations and all the things and the stuff. It is really, really powerful, and I am positive that you will enjoy that as well. Until I see you for another episode of Black Feather Couture, Divining the VIP Life, I am sending you lots of love and support. We will see you on the flip side, and transform well.